今天我来跟大家一起看一下佣兵模式的一些新资料吧 ，Live Reaction 哦。
Welcome. I'm Ben Lee, Game Director of Hearthstone.
Hi Ben.
And today we'll be taking you on an in-depth exploration of our brand new game mode, Hearthstone Mercenaries. But what's this new setting all around me? Welcome to the Mercenary Village. This will be a central home base for you and your growing crew of mercenaries.
OK， 所以大家开始就会有个基地。
And battle other players. Mercenaries is truly unlike any other mode we've added to Hearthstone before. It offers a persistent world full of choice and progression to explore alongside your personalized team of Azeroth's legends.
所以你要
They
自
were
己
excited to share numerous
聚集一
mercenary
个
reveals,
队伍这样
a
子，
tour of the village, and some big surprises.
应该有
that
点
you
会
won't
像
want
是
to miss.
RPG 吧？
So whether
听
you're a
说。
thrill-seeking opportunist or a benevolent bounty hunter, there's always a job and the promise of treasure for those of you up to the challenge. Thank you all for joining us. And now, let's jump straight in with our official trailer reveal for Hearthstone Mercenaries.
OK， 接下来是预告。
How long have we plotted and planned?
Dear Lady Presta, it's finally our grand
Opportunity. We'll need some merch to do our dirty work.
所以是卡扎和
If you can, oh, I'm
普
in
拉那个什
trouble.
么吕是自己去
Bring
找
these
佣
bounties
兵。
in and I'll pay double. You'll go from rags to riches in a snap.
Oh, get yourself some
Hey,
gear and grab a potion. Glory waits for you and a promotion.
You know it.
Just be smart and wear your thinking cap.
Now, honest labor really can be
还有
its only
实盖模式，
reward. Life is so much sweeter now. You have a great soul.
哦，双刀吗？
Right up on you can be a mercenary. They say that
好啦，
favors the bold, but
忘了他叫什么名字，
when
罗
you
姆。
got enough gold. You're influencing people and you're winning some friends.
Let's have faith.
Story goes, your glory grows, but the fun never ends. Be a boss, king or queen, and we'll rule everything when you're a mercenary.
OK，
Welcome back
nice
to the
song。
village, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that trailer. Mercenaries drops you into the rich world of Azeroth with a unique perspective. Instead of being the almighty individual hero, you'll play leader to your own mercenary enterprise.
对，
This
所以
journey
就
will take
是
you
要
to
自
the far
己
reaches
组
of
建一个
Azeroth,
队伍，
hunting bounties for increasingly dangerous foes to reap the rewards. And
然
these
后
jobs
不
not
断的
only net you
拿
nice coin,
奖励，
the
然
battles
后完
along the
成
way
任
level
务
up。your mercenaries to unlock abilities and allow you to find upgradable items. Now I'm sure you're eager to venture off to take on your own dangerous and hopefully lucrative bounties, but first, let's join Valera in her hunt for Hagar and get familiar with an entirely new system of combat in Hearthstone Mercenaries.
我吐槽一下
You
他
may
字幕
remember
不
from our
对，我先
BlizzCon
把它
line
拿掉。
announcement that Mercenaries is Hearthstone's take on an RPG experience with roguelike mechanics. Let's start
Okay.
by taking a look
有
at a
卡
mercenary
片，
in
然后
play,
打怪
where。you'll first notice
Okay.
familiar attack and health stats. What's totally different is that each mercenary has a core set of unique abilities which appear as actions when selected. There's tremendous variety in how these can impact the battlefield,
然后每
healing,
个
buffing,
怪
summoning,
会有不同的
sizzling,
技能，
and of course, going face. Wait, there is no face. That's right.
对，然后没有
For
脸，
mercenaries,
不用打
victory
脸
is
的。
achieved by wiping out your opponent's team. That
OK，
might
所以
take
这个
some
模
getting
式
used
是
to for
不用
Red
打
Sox.
脸就清怪
All
就好。
abilities have a speed value, and some also have a cooldown. Speed determines
然后
the
有
order
些
of
技能
actions.
是
The lower the
有
number, the
速
sooner
度，
that
然后
action
还
will take
有
place.
CD。
Cooldowns, on the other hand, tend to come with the strongest abilities. When a mercenary comes into play, any of their abilities with cooldowns will be inactive until enough turns have passed.
然后
Once
有
used,
有
the
技
timer
能
starts
有
again,
CD 的
and
技
you'll
能一
definitely
般
want
都
to
是
be
比较
making
强，
use of
就
these
大招
potential
吧，差
game
不多。
changers. In each round of combat, you'll first choose your team's moves in the command phase before watching the battle unfold all at once. Positioning, timing, and strategic planning
回
of
合
your
开
turn
始
are
之
critical
前
in
要
the outcome
选
of
那
combat.
个
This
顺
can be
序，
tough
就是
as
要
the
选
state of
排
the
序
board
的
may
意思
change
吧。
considerably once the spells start flying, and that clutch meteor finisher you were banking on won't happen if the mercenary has fallen. So, you've probably also noticed the red, green, and blue coloring of each mercenary's stat bars.
然后有
These represent
红色、
minions,
绿色、
protector,
蓝色
fighter,
的，红
or
色的
caster
是保护
respectively.
者，绿
We
色
call
是
these
打
roles
来
when they play a major
fighter，
part
然
in the
后
makeup
蓝
of
色是
mercenaries.
法师。
Let's take a look with a couple examples.
Fighter
You
就
can
像
many
low 的
tanks as
上路
mercenaries.
吧，
While they aren't always the quickest, protectors love holding the front line and taking most of the
然后
punishment
protector
so
就
that your
是
squishies
坦
don't
的意
have
思
to.。With abilities that grant taunt and a cartload of endurance to boot, They'll help your team control the flow of the fight. Take a look at Jaraxxus, Eridar Lord of the Burning Legion. As you might notice, protectors can also dish out some serious damage. Trust me,
然后
you
坦
don't
也
wanna
不一
catch these
坦
fists
也
if
是
he's
可
teamed
以
up with
打
demons.
伤害
Next,
的。
let's take a look at the wielder of Tusks of Manaroth himself, Garrosh Hellscream. If anyone knows how to properly armor up for a fight, it's this guy. The
然后
more
这个
enemies, the merrier.
是用
Garrosh's
来
horde strength ability will
加
add
血的。
increasing bonuses to his health. Maybe think twice before you summon that extra minion. When you're looking to cut through the competition with raw damage and finesse, fighters are the way to go. Their high attack makes them key threats on the
Fighter
battlefield,
是
along with abilities
伤
that keep
高
your
伤
team's
害。
offensive pressure building. Check out War Master Voon. Favored by dragons and feared by enemies, this fighter will keep your opponents running for cover with a flurry of flame and
然后好
axes.
像他的这
Voon
些
can also
怪
summon
也是有
additional
分
dragons into the
什
fight
么
for
史
a quick
诗、
strike
普
that
通、
simultaneously empowers
精
his
良
fighter.
之类的。
If up close and personal is more your
你看
style,
它左下
you're
角
going to
那里
want
写
a
着
fighter
Epic，
like Samuro in your squad.
然后这
Unleash
个
a
是
whirlwind
Rare。
of blade on your foes, or create deadly deception with mirror images. While the Blade Master doesn't have the highest health, direct damage is always a gambit, since a well-timed whirling blade can mitigate future damage. There's no denying that blades and brawn contribute to a formidable team's front line, but you'll also want to bring some backline
然后这些
firepower
是
and a
法
good
师。
healer. That's where casters come in. They keep your team in the fight and unleash devastating spell combos.
诶，他们
to
好
turn
像
the
还
tide of
还分
battle.
什么人类
Who
野
better
兽
to
哦。
start with than our favorite prodigal priest, Anduin Writ? Harness the power of
Anduin 又是
Holy
你。
to buff and sustain your team's health throughout the fight, while also delivering consistent damage to the enemy team. As a leader of humans in Azeroth, Anduin's abilities are significantly amplified when fighting alongside more of his kin. Moving on, ready
他
your
他是说
chat,
跟
because
安多恩
Blade
跟他
Fox is
的
up next
孩
as
子
another
在一起的
caster
时候会
Hearthstone
变得比较
Mercenaries.
强，
This crafty
所以应该有
K9
些
Arcane
隐藏
uses
羁
the
绊
enemy
之类的
team's
吧，我
abilities
想。
against them, while also refreshing and hastening friendly cooldowns. Notice the arcane combo keyword. In Mercenaries, this means a bonus effect if a previous arcane ability was used by another member of the team this turn. And yes, there are combos for all schools of magic.
OK，
We'll be checking
他
out
刚刚那
examples of
些
spell school
秘
synergy
法有一
teams
个
later on
秘
in
法
the show.
combo，说
Let's
如
cover
果
one more
你
central piece
上
of the
个
role
回
system.
合，诶，还是这个
In
回合，
Mercenaries, there's a
如果有打
relationship
过
of
别的
strengths and weaknesses to
秘法
consider
的话，
when
它
building
会
teams
有
and
额外
choosing
的
engagements.
效
Protectors
果。
deal double damage to fighters. Fighters deal double damage to casters.
哦
Casters deal double damage to
哦，然后
protectors.
还有这
That two times
相
damage
相
multiplier
克的，
applies to
就
both
是
attacks
御三家
and
差的
abilities,
差不多概
but only
念。
on offense.
红色克绿
Opportunities
色，
to
绿色
target these
克蓝色，
weaknesses
蓝
and
色
deal
克红
critical
色，
damage
就
are
水火草
contextually
嘛。
highlighted on the game board. And when planning bounties, you'll be able to discover some information to use this system to your favor. Most of the time, it's best to have a team that can confidently take on a range of roles. In the battlefield, capitalizing on the weaknesses of your opponent's roles while being mindful of your own is a critical piece of tactical decisions. I hope you enjoyed a first look at a handful of mercenaries, and there's so much more to explore. How stats and abilities rank up as you level, treasures you discover in bounties that modify and amplify abilities, and even unique equipment for each
然
mercenary
后
that
应该是
bolsters
打
their
完
hit
每一
in a
个
variety
关
of
卡都会
ways.
有奖励这
We'll be
样子。
unveiling all of that today, so stick around. Now let's check back in with Hasiba at the campfire.
Thanks, Joe, and a warm and cozy welcome from the campfire to all of you. Let's start the tour here at the centerpiece of your mercenary village, where visitors can stop by for a little R&R. During their stay, these campfire guests often have tasks you can pursue for special rewards. But the question of who will come to your village and when is mostly up to chance. In-game, visitors will appear around your campfire as seen here. Clicking on the campfire presents you with the
会
task
有
board,
会
where
有
you can
随
see the
机
objectives
的
along with
佣
rewards
兵来
for
到你的
completion.
营
This
地
is
上
pretty
面，
similar to Hearthstone's quest system. Just remember to come back to the task board after
然后
you've
就你
fulfilled the
做任务
requirements
就
to
会
collect your
有一
reward.
些 pack，
Speaking of task rewards,
不就抽
let's
卡
talk
吗
about equipment, which is often a major reason you'll want to complete a specific visitor's job. One of the core ways in which you'll define a mercenary's playstyle is through their equipment. Only
哦，
one
然后
piece
每
can
一
be
每一
active at a
个
time,
佣
with
兵
three
会有
unique
不同的
options
装
to
备哦。
collect and upgrade. Let's take a look at what Illidan is able to acquire. Razor Fist will provide
然后
a
这些是
straightforward
伊利丹
damage
的武
bonus to his
器。
winged assault ability. We all know Illidan loves to attack,
我们
and
今
this
天就
defensive
先
option
不
will
细
prove
看这些
useful if
武
your
器什
team
么
is
的，等
lacking in
它
the
公
heals
布了我
department.
们再一
I'm
次
sure you
看
can
吧。
already imagine what's coming next. Of course, you'll make for one very happy betrayer if you can acquire and equip the Warglaives of Azeroth. With Warglaives in hand, Outcast attack becomes a massive threat to the enemy's flanks. Moving on, let's introduce Karen Bloodhoof. As you'll see, his equipment options present a significant strategic decision. Reincarnation pairs great with this tanking Tauren and may even foil your opponent's command phase game plan. Swift Totem will amp up the bonus from Endurance Aura, allowing your team to unleash big abilities well ahead of your enemy's actions. Thunderous Sash, on
所
the
以
other
应该
hand,
是这些
can make
装备都
Karen's
是
Warstop a
大概
frustrating
会
hindrance
相对
to
应
enemy
英
teams
雄的
that rely on getting
我是
in
说
early
佣兵不是
attacks
英
and
雄。
buffs. Making sure your
每个
mercenaries
装
are
备
well
是
equipped
对
is
应
always going to give you an edge
佣
in
兵的一个
combat,
特
so
别
be
技
sure
能
to keep
的。
an eye on those visitors and
如果你
complete
想
their tasks to
用哪一
gear
个的
up.
话，就装
And
那个装备
hello,
吧，大概。
Cheers, Hasiba. You know, sitting around a nighttime campfire before going into battle, it almost reminds me of...
Ben, I think something's wrong with the portal.
Ah, of course, Diablo. Today, we're
Diablo.
thrilled to announce that Hearthstone will be welcoming and fully embracing a character from a different Blizzard universe. Initially playable as a mercenary, it is now our pleasure to introduce you to the arch rival of the Nephilim.
居然有迪亚布罗，有迪亚波的粉丝吗？
Feast upon this world. You now speak to the Lord of Terror. There is no escape.
哦，好像很厉害哦。
Abandon all hope. Not even death can save you from me.
买吧，买吧，就是要买嘛，
The
对不对？
Lord of Terror will go live at the launch of Mercenaries and can be found in Mercenaries Packs. He'll also be available in the Diamond Diablo pre-purchase bundle, starting today. We hope you're as
今天可以
excited
买
as we are to
OK，
bring a little terror to the tavern.
今天就来坑钱，游戏还没开
Bring。what to my tavern? Oh, hey again, everyone. Now, of course, any good village needs an upstanding tavern, and this will play an important role in your mercenary's journey. Let's take a look in-game. Once you build a tavern, it will function as your mercenary collection, where you can customize teams and individual characters. Like the card collection, you'll be able to navigate the full library of mercenaries. Each has their own page to manage portraits,
OK
abilities, and
每
equipment.
个哦，
We
每个
love that
怪还是有
Mercenaries
不同，
opens up
还
a
有
new
不
way
同
to
的
tell
图。
stories with this amazing cast of heroes and villains.
钱嘛，
That
钱嘛，
extends to
就
the
是
art,
钱嘛。
with representations of the characters in different stages of their own lore. We all know Arthas and his path from beloved prince to Lich King. When you first unlock a mercenary, it will have the default portrait as shown for Arthas here. Each character also has 2 alternates which can be earned from mercenary packs and in some cases tasks. Their portraits are a snapshot of notable growth and notoriety to collect, and you'll find the theme consistent throughout the roster. On top of the
Okay.
portraits, there are also different frame rarities, from normal to golden to diamond, and each bringing more gravitas with added animations and effects. Next, feast your eyes on this young
买
and
皮
adorable
肤
King
还是要买
Crush.
皮
He
肤
may have started out cute as a button, but once those teeth grew in, yeah, distract your enemies with extreme cuteness or intimidate with pure terror. It's up to you. As you unlock and collect portraits, you'll open up new ways to bring the mercenary characters together. Maybe you want to have Illidan, Tyrande, and Malfurion all teaming up during simpler times. In addition to customizing cosmetics, you'll come here to upgrade abilities and equipment. In Mercenaries, unlocking a higher rank of an ability significantly increases that
还要
character's power
给
level.
钱才能
When a new
升级，
mercenary
哎，
joins
这
your
不
collection
好
at
啊
level
，pay
1,
to win 不
they will have a
好。
single ability. The second
抽
unlocks
卡
at
我还
level
能
5,
接受，
and
你
the
要
third
升
unlocks
级
when
这
the
不
character
行
reaches
啊。
level 15. Let's
哎，
take a
炉
look
石
at Millhouse's
不好
fifth Arcane Assault to compare his ability ranks. These are typically a linear increase to effectiveness, but in the case of Arcane Bolt, you'll be able to ramp up the spell damage you gain more quickly in addition to a boost in raw damage. Upgrading is done through a new in-game resource system called Mercenary Coins. Each
哎，
character
很
has
失
their
望
own
哎。
coin, which you'll earn from bounties, PvP, and mercenary packs.
有
Now let's shift
PVP
gears
啦，
to
可
teams.
是
In the tavern's
有
mercenary
PVP
collection,
你还要
you'll see a
搞这样，
sideboard
哎，
to
很
manage
失望，
teams
不行不
similar to
行。
standard card decks. A team in Mercenaries is made up of 6. While you can only have 3 in play, the remaining 3 will make up the bench. When one of your in-play mercenaries falls in battle, you'll bring in a
OK，
member
每个
from the
牌
bench
组有
at the
6
end
个
of
怪
that。combat round. So far today, we've taken a look at how this huge new mode's gameplay works, with several reveals of mercenaries and their abilities, equipment, and art. What do you think, Hasiba? Are we ready to dive into team building?
Absolutely. All of you have now seen the core components that define an individual mercenary. Now the fun really starts as we start looking at the bigger picture of maximizing synergies. You never know exactly which
OK， 还会
mercenaries
有
you'll
不同
discover
的
in the
羁
world,
绊。
but there are a variety of opportunities to bring them together in complementary ways. Let's start with a few examples of the most familiar relationships, minion types. Murlocs offer versatile strength on their
鱼人
own and work together to overwhelm their opponents with agile aggression and power in numbers.
Minion。好，就是这些技能都是会影响到别的鱼人的。
Now, if you're more of a land animal person, we got you covered.
然后这
You'll
些
also
是野
find
兽。
plenty of Azeroth's fiercest beasts and renowned handlers.
对，这些就是影响别的野兽的牌。
Lead a demon army into battle and
然后
dominate
还有
your
恶魔。
enemies with overwhelming numbers.
That's just a few of the many minion types to find and collect in Mercenaries. And having 1 to 2 ways to combine their strengths on the battlefield is highly beneficial. Now let's talk about an entirely different way Mercenaries can combine their skills to make a successful team.
Spell schools have become an integral part of Hearthstone, and we're extending that approach to mercenaries in a major way.
然后他
While the
说，
loyalties and
这
motivations of
里
certain characters may
佣兵
clash,
模式也是
combining
会有
wielders of a specific
那
magic
些
will unlock
魔法，
incredibly powerful
不同的魔
combos
法
and
就什么
teamwork.
火焰秘
Fire
术那
synergy
些。
can come from a traditional fire mage to elementals to a whirlwind of flames itself, and can chain their abilities to unleash AoE destruction.
然后火焰是 AoE 的。
Wow, that team looks pretty intense. I think we need to chill out a bit and move on to the next spell school.
然后这是兵法嘛，就
There's clearly some awesome power to be harnessed using the elemental spell schools, but now let's look at the tremendous support and sustain a holy team can provide.
好，这是神圣。
Now we can't show holy without its polar opposite, the suppression and control that shadow
然后还
magic
有
lends
暗
can
影的
be
法
deadly
术。
with some clever play.
其实它这里应该不是法术，应该都是一些用来打 combo 的吧？
Again, there are plenty more spell schools to explore and build teams around in Mercenaries, but I hope you're all enjoying a preview to start considering how these synergies can be leveraged.
Definitely. We didn't even check out nature yet, and that's gotta be one of my favorites. But the show must go on.
然后它还
In
会有
addition
自
to
然，
spell
它
schools
今天
and
就
minion
不收
types,
了。
there are other outside-the-box ways to approach combat strategy. Let's check out one more example that uses tricks, traps, and the combo keyword to build momentum.
这是陷阱。 First damage of this mark is still 哦，所以这是陷阱。如果这个怪受到伤害，
Remember
就
that
会
a
触
team
发
has 6 mercenaries, so combining 2 to 3 of these themes amongst your roster is a pretty good idea. Alright, that wraps up this stop of the tour. I'm sticking around at the tavern. Where are you taking these fine viewers next, Hasiba?
We're actually headed towards the portal. See you in a bit, Joe. Now it's time to see how you'll access the world and take on bounties in Mercenaries.
然后就是
So
奖
the
励。
portal here is what we call the travel point. Initially, you'll have to make do with a reliable Dark Moon mare to get the job done. But as you upgrade the village, the technology and capability of the travel point increases. Let's head into the game to learn a little bit more about... Wait, is that Sarge? Sarge, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in the tavern. What do you mean there's not enough cheese? There's so much cheese in there. Okay, fine. If you have to go, then pick me up a block of Darnassian Blow, please. And be careful, it's dangerous out there. We're very excited to announce that Sarge will be available as a new World of Warcraft mount when the game mode launches. Complete the Mercenaries tutorial and start your first bounty to automatically
OK， 如果
unlock
有
Sarge from your
打
WoW count.
魔兽世界的
Interacting
可
with
以
the
拿
travel
了刚刚
point
那
is
只
your
老
first
鼠，
step to starting a
我
bounty,
不玩不知
which
道
you。can think of as a
对
PvE mission. There are several zones to
然后这是
explore, along
PvE
with
的
progressively higher level targets to hunt. Let's dive in and head to Felwood. Here we have the available bounties with some information to help you decide on the right job. The target of a bounty will be the final boss of that run, so noting their role can be beneficial in bringing your A-team of counters. I think we'll take on Raven the Hunter's bounty for some good old Furbolg fighting. Remembering that our target is a protector, I'm thinking this arcane awesomeness team here will fare quite well, since it has all of our highest level caster mercs. So in we go to Felwood to find Raven. Every bounty map is procedurally generated, meaning you'll get unique map layouts along with randomized
OK，
encounter
然后每一
enemies
个
and
这些
points of
PvE
interest
任
to
务都是
navigate.
不一样
Clicking on the
的。
nodes gives you some details, but you'll also need to use your intuition and decide which routes to take along the way. Let's unpack some of the obstacles and rewards for clearing them that you'll find on your adventures. Minor encounters are made up of enemies
然后好
that
像
should
都
be
是
manageable,
偏向
giving your
带
team as
3
on
个
par
红、
with that
3个
bounty's
绿、3
power
个
level.
蓝这样
Keep your
子。
guard up though, as losing members on your team will restrict your options in the long run. Here, you'll
然后
find
好
not
像
all enemies
有
have an alignment,
如果
and
你
they
的
can
佣
also
兵
have
死掉
keyword
的
effects
话，
like death
会
rattle. Always take a
就
moment to
在这
soak
个
up the
这系
moves
列
and
任务就用
strategize
不
the
了
game。plan. Now, the exciting part. Encounter victories reward experience to all members of your party. On top of that, one mercenary in your party will be rewarded with a discovered treasure that can bolster stats and abilities or add an entirely new spell or attribute.
OK，
Treasure
然后
bonuses
打这些
last throughout
PvE
that
的话，
bounty
你
run,
的
but are
佣
not
兵会
permanent
升级。
upgrades to the mercenary. Side note, as long as one mercenary is still standing at the end of a battle, all damage on that mercenary will be fully recovered before the next encounter. Elite encounters work the same way.
佣兵
but the
受伤
risks
了
and
之后
rewards are far
会
greater.
回血
These，enemies
在这
will
个任
offer
务
a major
在这个
challenge,
系列
and
任
it's
务里面
unlikely。that your party will come out unscathed. Then again, think of the super treasure. Substantially bigger bonuses come from besting these elites and can give you a crucial advantage for the final battle. You'll also come
然
across
后一边
spirit
打就会一
healers
边有
that
奖
simply
励，
revive
就
any
跟
fallen members
决斗
of
那
your
些差不多
party
吧。
after limping away from an elite encounter. This can be a beautiful discovery that saves your bounty run. Beyond encounters and spirit healers, keep an eye out for the many other curveball points of interest that fill the roads to bounty bosses. Take the mysterious stranger, where choosing to engage can reveal a helpful ally, confounding adversary, or a neutral surprise. Or you can find and activate boons that empower all characters of a specific role for the rest of the
然后
bounty,
除了怪以
including
外，
enemies.
除了怪以外，
Alas,
还会有
after
别的
battling
奖
your
励
way through，the
一直
twists
到
and
最
turns,
后的里。
you've made it to the end of the line. The final and greatest challenge will be your bounty target, occupying a special boss room along with their hoarded treasures. Now it's time to bring out the best of your team and maximize the value of every treasure, boon, and bonus to finish the job. Successfully completing the bounty will immediately open the treasure chest for those sweet, sweet rewards.
然后打完就会有
However, if
奖
your
励。
team was wiped out at any point in the run, you'll only retain the experience gains of the run. Any particular bounty can be attempted and completed an unlimited number of times, with each instance offering a new random map with the same final boss. Since you can also glean the potential rewards by inspecting the treasure chest of a bounty's map, there's many cases where replaying and beating the same bounty for that certain special mercenary loot makes sense.
然后
Let's come
你
back
可
to
以
the
一直
travel
重
point
复
menu,
打，然后
where
每
you'll
次会
also
有
see
不同的
additional
地图这样子。
difficulties. A quick note that completing all of the bounties in each zone on normal will get your team well into the 20 to 25 level range. So what comes next? Once you upgrade the travel
然后
point
他
in
说
your
打
village
完
from a
这打完
horse
这些
to a
任务
flight
大概
point,
就会
sorry
在
horse,
20到
heroic
25等
difficulty
左
will be
右。
unlocked. Bounty difficulties can be toggled at any time in the village. Heroic versions of a bounty will obviously scale up the power level of enemies and bosses, but there's also an increase in map size and layout that
然后
ramps
打
up the
heroic
challenge
的
and
话就
stakes
会
of
有
each run.
额外
Now, if you're
的
also wondering,
更大的
hey,
地图
Asiva,
和更
could
多
you
的奖
please
励。
explain that giant portal behind you? Well, that's actually the Tier 3 upgrade of the travel point. At launch, only normal and heroic bounties will be available. However, in an upcoming content update, we'll be opening up legendary difficulty.
OK，
Accessed by
然后
fully
一
upgrading
开
the travel
始
point of
就
your
是
village
只
to
有
portal
先有
key.
2个难度，然后
This is just
然
one
后
big
之
piece
后
of the
会更
content that
新
we，have
然
planned
后
to follow the
有
release of Mercenaries,
legendary
as
的
we'll
难度
also。regularly be adding themed updates with new bounties, mercenaries, and the additions to the village. With that, you're well equipped to start tackling the wide world of
那
bounties
PVP
that
呢
await
？PVP 怎
outside
么
the
玩？
village. So now let's shift gears and talk about PvP in Mercenaries.
PVP
In
来
the
了。
essence of civility, we like to keep all the drama contained here in the fighting pit. This functions as your access point to battling other players. And now I'll let our resident PvP expert Joe fill you in on what to expect.
So you've bested a few bounties, and now your party is ready to challenge other players. Well, step on down into the fighting pit. I'm game designer Joe Killian, here to show you the ropes of PvP and Mercenaries. Once you've unlocked and built a fighting pit in your own humble village, you'll be ready to get started. Inside, you can select from your teams and prepare,
哦，先
just like
挑
choosing a
先
deck
挑
in
一个队
standard.
伍嘛。
At launch, a Mercenaries PvP match will consist of both players bringing a single team of 6, and just like in a bounty encounter, defeating your opponent's entire party will secure
然
victory.
后要打，
One
要
key
把
difference from other
全部
game
人都
modes
打，
is that you
对
take
手
your
的
party
卡都
into
打
combat
打
as
趴
is.
才
That
是赢
means the progress
OK
you've earned in mercenary levels, ability tiers, and equipment all play a direct role into your PvP prowess. As you can imagine, the matchmaking in Mercenaries is quite a bit more complex than other game modes, since it needs to weigh all of these aspects to ensure relatively even power levels. While you'll always be paired up against opponents with teams of similar strength, we love that these factors open up a ton of potential for unique asymmetrical matches.
好像
Now
大
let's
家都
talk strategy
是
for a moment.
每个
Unlike
职业带一个
PvE,
的
where you
吧
can？gather some
每个颜色
information
我
on
说
what you'll be up against, in PvP, your team will face a mixed bag of opponents with varying roles and synergies. You may find yourself up against a protector-heavy orc team, or thrown into a fiery foray of elementals and casters. I like to bring beasts and nature casters, so I have good coverage of all the roles and some powerful synergies. If you want to come out swinging with all fighters, that choice is yours. Players will earn daily rewards just for participating in PvP. But
每天有
with great
奖励
ratings comes great
Okay.
rewards, and at increasing milestones, you'll unlock more and more mercenary reward chests. However, unlike the ranked chests from Standard, these contain mercenary-specific items, like mercenary packs and coins, so you can continue to expand and improve your mercenaries roster. We're incredibly excited to open up an entirely new way to PvP in Hearthstone, and now you know everything you need to get started, so it's up to you and your party. Good luck in the fighting pit, and we'll see you in Mercenaries.
OK， 还有吗？
Welcome back, everyone.
还有
One of my
OK，
favorite aspects in PvP and Mercenaries is that you can't see your opponent's command phase actions, which often obscures combat
所以不
ability
能
order, adding a new layer
看
of
到
challenge
对
to
手
tactical
的台面，
decisions.
所以还要
On
猜。
the other hand,
OK，
watching some good combat chaos unfold is half the fun. Alright, let's touch on a few other areas of the village, starting with the merchant cart. Here you'll find the Mercenaries
Merchant
shop
cart, 商店嘛。
with, you guessed it, Mercenaries Packs. This new kind of Hearthstone pack contains Mercenaries items with the same pack opening feel. Inside, you'll find coins for crafting mercenaries or upgrading abilities and equipment, along with actual new mercenaries and even alternate portraits. Occasionally, you might find limited time offers and deals here from the merchant, so it's good to stop by and check in. Tucked in over here is the mailbox to keep your village connected to the world. Besides your mercenaries team's fan mail, of course, we'll also be sending updates on new content, patch changes, and other fun stuff here. So keep an eye out for the handy exclamation mark that you have unread mail. Oh hey, I
邮箱
think I
是
see
没差吧？
Joe doing a bit of combat training over there. Keep it up, Joe.
Thanks, Asiba. That's enough training for now. Let me show you the last stop on our tour, where I'll swap out swords and shields for blueprints. This workshop here is where all the constructing and upgrading happens. Throughout the day, we've
这是合
explored how
成的
different areas of the
OK
village contribute to your overall journey in Mercenaries. But at the start, you'll basically have an open plot of land as your empty canvas. Then it's up to you to decide what you want to build and upgrade. When it comes to building up your village,
所以你要
everything is
自
done
己
with
做
gold,
一
and only
个
gold. The first step is to create a starting version
地
of each structure to unlock its benefits. For example, the fighting pit gives you access to PvP. From there, some structures can be upgraded for added benefits and bonuses. Upgrading the campfire, for instance, opens up more spots for visitors to come give you tasks. Speaking of the campfire, let's see how the others are doing. Well, I don't know about you two, but after all that constructing, it feels good to be back by the campfire.
You know, Millhouse conjured these, and supposedly arcane infusion tastes like blueberries. Ooh. Anyways, hey everyone at home. Along with what Joe talked through, we have plenty more exciting additions planned for the village, and you'll see those arrive in a future update.
Okay.
Be sure to keep some gold tucked away to get your mercenaries the new digs.
还要我
And
存
with
钱
that, I
不
think
是
we'll
吧
call this tour a wrap. Ben?
Indeed, you both rocked it. Thank you so much to all of you who came along with us in seeing what Mercenaries is all about. We couldn't be more excited to welcome you into this massive new adventure. Whether your goal is conquering all the heroic bounties, ascending the PvP leaderboards, or collecting a legendary roster of renowned heroes and villains. On behalf of the team, we sincerely appreciate you continuing to support, play, and
那
communicate
大概
with us
就
around the
差
hearth.
不多是这样子的。
We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on today's announcements, and we'll see you at the launch of Mercenaries on October the 12th. Until next time,
10月12号，它10月12号才会 release。那其实看下来，玩法应该是挺有趣的，因为排序很重要嘛。那可是最大的问题就是 pay to win， 就是你要多买卡，然后才能升级。其实你在这种电竞的游戏里面，任何需要升级的，就是我不知道，到时候我应该免费玩家吧，我不知到时候再说吧。那如果喜欢我的影片的话，记得点赞、订阅、分享，反正不用钱。我是 Slyan， 我们下部影片再见吧。